making 100 or 1000x with crypto. A lot of influencers will tell you, hey, look at this altcoin, it can do 100x. Look at this altcoin, can do a 500x. If you throw shit at the wall hoping something sticks, then you will also need that 100x to recover from the losses that you made with buying all these other altcoins that absolutely did not do 100x. However, you do not have to go into the shitcoin casino to actually make these returns if you know how to play this market. Buying altcoins on the open market in the bear market and cashing out in the next bull market is, of course, a very good way to grow your portfolio. And I will always recommend doing that if you know what to buy. But there are safer ways to do this and more returning ways to do this as well. Let me show you some examples. In the meantime, welcome to the Fomo Factory. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, by the way, so you don't miss out on anything. I'm here every day. Let me stalk you. Now, like I said, buying it on the open market, like, yeah, this is Matic, for example. If you bought Matic here and you wrote it here, you made 1000x, but then you had to buy the bottom and you had to sell the top, right? Now, there are a couple of things to it. One, you had to know about Matic when it was here. Nobody knew about it here. That's the problem. And once everybody starts talking about it, it's already way higher. Also, if you feel like, yeah, I don't know about a project right now that is so low, then there's a high chance that it will never get there because, like, yeah, there are only on the Binance Smart Chain already 3 million tokens. And I'm not even talking about all the other chains. Yeah, there are like not a lot of charts that eventually look like this. So this is, of course, super risky stuff. However, like I said, there are very good ways to actually do this because buying the bottom and selling the top is not that easy. What if we can at least take away the buying the bottom part? This is where it gets pretty fun. Therefore, you want to take a look at launchpads. And in this video, I would like to humbly shill my project because this is what we are doing. So I've created a project. What do you mean? For the people that know about it, they know about it. For the people that don't know about it, this might be really cool because launchpads are platforms where you can invest in a certain token before it hits the market. And you can also do that without launchpads on the websites of these projects themselves, for example. But that's extremely high risk because you put your money into something that you don't know. It's super speculative, and if you lose, you lose. However, launchpads have a refund policy. So, for example, and I'm gonna get back to why do you mean why what. Let me do that again. I will come back to why. What do you mean is interesting for this? Because a lot of people they live in America and they cannot participate in launchpads. But for example, let's go to Seedify, my favorite launchpad. Seedify released a lot of projects, and especially if you look during the bull market. So 2021, for example, right? You see here that these projects 185x at the top. Blocktopia did a 700x, but also just lower gains, but also very nice, like a 23x, an 18x, a 40x, 50x, 170x, 60x, 109x. This is all during the bull market. Right, so now we are in the bear market, and there's not a lot of money into crypto right now because a lot of people they left the space instead of entering the space. So money gets taken out of crypto. But if we all believe in crypto, we know that it will come back and there will be a new bull run, and then there will be a lot of money to get into these projects, and then these pre-sales will do these 40, 50, 100, 700 x's again, right? Seedify alone already had insane returns. If you look at this, the all-time high ROI, if you were in like 5 pre-sales, for example, already, then you would completely have played out this whole crypto game. You would have made it, right? Now there are way more launchpads. And the projects that are getting released now or the next bull run are probably better as well than what was released a couple of years ago. However, there's a downside to this because launchpads are not allowed everywhere. If you live in China, if you live in the US, if you live in, name a country, a lot of countries are restricted from participating in these pre-sales. So you automatically miss out on every single thing of this. And that's a waste, of course. Yeah, you can buy like SpinTop now on the open market for a third of the IDO price, right? So you would be cheaper than if you bought it in the pre-sale. But you also missed out on this 64x that you could have made first, right? So only with this project you could have made a lot of money. You buy it before the token comes out. You are in the pre-sale. So it's really a waste if you live in such a country. So therefore, again, I've started What Do You Meme? What is What Do You Meme? What Do You Meme? So search it on CoinGecko if you want, and let me show you this real quick so you can see the whole project right here. So What Do You Meme? I created What Do You Meme, and what do we do? We participate in these pre-sales through Seedify, Engine Starter, Pools Finance, Decubate, Chain GPT. More launchpads will follow with the highest tiers. We have the highest tier on Seedify. We have insane allocations. You can stake the What Do You Meme token on our website. You find What Do You Meme on CoinGecko. Find it right there. There's a link down below as well. You can stake it on our website, on our DApp. Our DApp is going to be completely revamped soon, by the way. So the DApp now looks, it looks okay, right? It looks good. But it's going to look way better. So you can go here to staking and you can here stake the tokens. Now, if we invest, let's say $100, that's bullshit. We're not investing $100. Our average allocation per project now already, give or take, is $10,000. So again, if we invest $10,000 in a project that will do 100x, for example. And again, that's not uncommon. Last bull run, 700, 185, 170, 109, 70. And this is just Seedify. We have 4 more of these launchpads. So, but let's say we put $10,000 in. We pull off 100x. We make $1 million with one lunch. And these lunches happen weekly. Can you imagine? It's incredible. Let's say that happens. We make $1 million. What do? We put a part of that $100 into our staking contract. And the people that stake our token can claim their share of the rewards that we make. Now, there is a calculation behind this, of course. How much do you stake? Do you stake it for 90 days, 180 days, 365 days? That all depends on how much you will get from the money that's in our staking contract. So, especially last bear market, you saw a lot of these Ponzi projects that say like, hey, put money in and you will get more in return. And yeah, if you ever ask like, hey, where's the money coming from, then they never really had a good answer, right? That was, of course, all Ponzi and not sustainable. We make it very clear. Our money is coming from the money that we make from these pre-sales. How did we get that money in the first place, by the way, to get all these high tiers? Well, it's very nice that we have the perfect timing, of course. We had a private sale and a pre-sale. We raised quite some money. Our price currently is sitting 20x, something like that, above private sale price. Also, we have a small buy and sell tax on the token to fill up our Launchpad wallet so we can actually get these tiers. And also, think about this. Launchpads like Seedify, you have to have the S-Fund token to be able to participate in these launches, right? But Seedify, yeah, it was sitting at $18 at the top. Now it's sitting at 60 cents. Our average entry price is 64 cents. We have an insane good entry price. Same goes for Engine Starter, right? Engine Starter is down 93% from its all-time high. Pools Finance, I don't know what these wicks are. they released their token. They had a relaunch, but this token was sitting way higher as well. Chain GPT also came down quite a lot. And we now are DCAing into these launchpad tokens. Not because we hope that this price is going up. Would be very fine, of course, but that will only benefit us if we then also choose to sell that token. What we want to do is have as much of these tokens, of course, so we can participate in these launches. So we have 100,000 CeFi tokens. Yeah, back in the last bull, that would have cost you $1.8 million. Now it will cost you 60K. But still, for a lot of people, 60K is way too much money, right? And you can get a lower tier, but the benefit of a high tier is, of course, that you have a higher allocation. So the higher your allocation, the higher your gains. If you look, for example, this is my own personal portfolio right here. So this is not what do you mean, but from me personally. If you look, for example, at Hypercycle, was a really good one. I invested $9,000 in this, and after this 23K that I already have gotten in return, I am still getting vested $80,000, and I'm getting it daily. Every block, I'm getting more and more tokens. So it's still sitting 11x above the price that I've paid for it. And I wasn't even in the highest tier in CeFi. Unfortunately, what do you mean didn't exist yet when Hypercycle came out. Otherwise, we would have had like $200,000 investing or so already. But fact is that if you are not... If you're not approaching crypto this way, then you already missed out on an 11x, right? And you could say like, yeah, but I can also make an 11x by buying shitcoins on the open market. But then again, that's very risky because you can also lose. Like if it has so much upside potential, then there's also a lot of risk into it. Now, the beautiful thing about these launchpads is, of course, like I said, they have a refund policy. What does that mean? It means, let's say, I invested in Hypercycle for a price of 8 cents, right? The token came out, and it came out at 5 cents, or slightly above 8 cents, but it crashed already. I can choose to not sell this token, and I will get a refund. I will get my money back. That's the beautiful thing about it. You automatically buy the bottom. If it goes lower anyway, you get your money back. So it's beautiful because crypto has two sides of it, right? If you want to make money on a token, first you have to buy as low as possible, and then you have to sell as high as possible. Well, it's very hard. It's not easy. So if we can at least take away the buying as low as possible, then it's now up to us to at least sell as high as possible. Well, that's what we are doing with What Do You Meme? And we are slowly converting ourselves into a VC because we want to do more than just public pre-sales. We will do seed sales later as well. And we have this whole meme-ish side, of course. That's what do you meme? It's basically because I've seen a lot of projects with utility that, still didn't work because they didn't get the hype. And you can say whatever you want, but at least meme coins, they do have the hype. So cool. Why? What do you mean? Why would you say like, hey, this is something that's interesting instead of like the CeFi tokens themselves? Well, first, again, like I said, there are many countries that cannot participate in these pre-sales in the first place. So if you know somebody that lives in America, and there might be a lot of people, or any other country, then this is the alternative. There is now an alternative. That's the biggest thing. Second, if you are liable, then it's still very hard to get a very good tier because these tiers are like still super expensive. With What Do You Meme? We already have the best tiers. And of course, you also have to share the rewards with other people. But the highest tier gives, in ratio, also a way higher allocation than a tier lower. So that's a huge benefit as well. Now, when it comes to the what do you mean token, yeah, this is also super bullish. We have a market cap currently of $1.5 million. Now, I cannot sit here as a founder of the project predicting what the price is going to be, but I can tell you what our mission is to make sure that this will at least turn into $1, which is now, you can see, but this is now 1.5 cents. So what is our mission? How are we going to do it? Well, again, we will participate in all these lunches. We already made like $50,000 so far with a couple of lunches and not the best steers in the bear market. We now have the best steers already on most launchpads. The bull market will still come, and there will be many lunches. So there will be no doubt a lot of money coming into this project. So we will, like I said, distribute a lot of that money on our staking the app to give to the stakers so you can claim your rewards. But also, we will use a big part of that money to step up our tiers, of course. Now things are still low, but also to buy back the what do you mean token from the open market and then burn it forever. A lot of projects, they talk about burning their token, and that's nice as that can be sold no more. But on the other hand, does it do something with the price immediately? No, not necessarily, right? So if we buy a lot of our own tokens, that drives the price up. If we then burn them, then these tokens can never be sold. So we set the price floor higher and higher and higher. Now, we will also, of course, add more liquidity to it. And there is a lot of interesting stuff to make this token a lot more valuable as well. So you can choose to, of course, not stake it and just enjoy the ride as the token will go up in value, probably, as it is working out as I think it's going to work out, and then sell the token for a profit, of course. But the stats are also like incredible. You have to realize this. 52.7 million tokens are staked and locked right now. I don't know if that says anything to you, but you have to realize that there are 98 million tokens in circulation. Like, this is the total. 100 million was the total supply, but we burned 1.8 million tokens already, as you can see right here. So we actually way more than half of the total current circulating supply is fully staked and locked. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a freaking lot. The private sale and the pre-sale tokens are completely vested. So the weekends are also out. Now, from now on, therefore, I now also want to make this video. We are set to be insanely deflationary. Like I said, we will have decent lunches in the bear. This is our preparation phase. But we will have insane lunches in the bull. And with our current tiers, we are going to benefit from that. Like, it's so hard. And then if there is so much money into our project, that if we can use that money to, like I said, buy back these tokens and burn them forever, you will see this go down extremely hard as well. And that's going to be so beautiful, because that's also the point where we will create a lot of demand for the token. I bet that if people in, for example, in crypto in America or another restricted country know about the project, they're gonna want to step into this. We haven't started marketing though. It's very simple. No marketing. Why? Because I'm on YouTube myself for a long time. I know how this stuff works. Marketing your token in the bear market is bullshit. You want to be a little out there, but I'm not gonna throw thousands of dollars to YouTube videos and AMAs and all that kind of nonsense. Well, there's nobody in crypto now watching anyway, right? We can better now in the bear market use our money to work on the product, to step up our tiers, to make sure that everything is set. Once the bull market hits, our utility is top notch. And if we then market it, then we have the timing. Plus, we have something to market. So, I'm happy, man. Guys, I just want to make you aware that we are still going crazy on this project. And yeah, if you look at our chart, a lot of people might say like, "Oh yeah, look, uh, it came down like 70%." Call a couple of projects that didn't in the bear market, like we are crypto as well. But we are also up 20x from when we came out in the bear, right? And it's not like, to be honest, I rather see an insane low price than a very high price right now. Because again, the more you stake, the more rewards you get. And I also, I may have created a project, but there are no team tokens. I'm also an investor. I missed out on my own private sell. I really did, because I had to put it into Telegram and all of that, and it got sold out in 5 seconds, so I couldn't buy it. But I'm also an investor. I'm not even the biggest staker, by the way. I can show you. This is my my address, like number 7 or something like that. It's fucking stupid. Yeah, this is my. I'm number 6. Okay, fine. But there are people staking more than me. So, but what I wanted to say is, I rather see it low right now than high, because now I know about our utility. I know personally already, with only C5, with only not even the highest tier, how much money you can make. This is from the last couple projects during the bear, with one launchpad with not the highest allocation. So I feel like, okay, how is what do you mean going to do with multiple launchpads with higher allocations in the bull market? The number here, 120k, is nothing. It's nothing. So then I feel like, yeah, I'd rather have a big ass bag of what do you mean tokens myself as well, and want to pay as as less as possible, of course. So and the community also understands that. If they see the price go down, they be like, "Oh fuck yes!" But it gets bought up all the time, all the time. On our last vesting day, we were vesting the last private sell tokens, and I thought, oh, okay, now we can see a dip. The price ended in a 20% profit that day. It was absolutely retarded how beautiful this community is. So yeah, I don't know, man. Check it out. There is a 5% buy tax and an 8% sell tax. As you understand the utility now, that's nothing that you might feel like, oh, that's weird. Like, no, we use that money to buy into these tiers, of course. But if you want to get it on Pancake Swap, make sure to set the slippage like 5.5%, maybe something like that. And I know it sounds like I got these comments earlier, like, hey, you say don't buy altcoins, but then you say buy my altcoin. Guy, I'm not telling you to buy this. Definitely not. If you like, I'm not selling you this. But I do want to make you aware for your sake, because this is going to be a big ass opportunity, because I know about I founded the project. I know everything about it, right? So therefore I'm sitting here with more confidence than anybody else, right? Um, Plus, I don't need you to buy it, bro. Believe me, I don't need you. I don't even want you. Because eventually, the more people join the project, yeah, it drives the price up like crazy. But the less rewards everybody gets from staking, because you have to share it with more people, right? So it's also for you better to see 500 people in the project than 5,000. Unless you, of course, just only here to see the price go parabolic, right? So the less people there are, the more you make from the utility. The more people there are, yeah, the more the price goes up. Like there is no losing in this. It's absolutely beautiful. We invested $15,000 in soil. Now that project got refunded though, so and we got our 15k back. So beautiful. No worries about that. But the thing is that we are actually able to invest 15k in a project already, right? And we don't even have to like we can even go way higher on engine starter or something, right? Or pools. But 15k, I cannot help but wonder how would that look like on something like this. And this happened. And this is just not just an exception or anything, right? This is just Seedify that I've showed you. Look, Dowmaker, look at their returns. Multiple 100x's in a couple of months, right? and 70, 80, 90, right? If you make like a 50x every week, like, I feel like there is nobody more ready for the bull market than I am. And my mission on this channel is always to help others as well, because I've got wrecked in 2 markets before, and this one is gonna be mine. Like, I not got right. Last market I did very well as well, by the way. But and with what do you mean? I feel like now I can actually offer something to help people. So yeah, no, I mean, do with it whatever you want, and I mean, don't just buy it because you hear me talk very bullish about the project. Like, again, I'm not trying to sell you anything right here though, but at least know about it, at least know how we work. And I would say, maybe if you, after this video, jump into our Telegram. I'm gonna leave everything down below. Jump into our Telegram, ask some questions, feel how the vibe is from the community, get familiar with it. Like, no rush at all, no rush. Don't buy anything before you know what it is exactly. But I will feel regrets if I did not feel I made you aware enough in a couple of years. So it's me just spreading awareness. And of course, as a founder, I have to talk about my own project, otherwise it would be weird. Because the confidence I have is, yeah, through the roof. And I cannot wait for the bull. I cannot wait for the bull. But it's only because we are preparing in the bear. You cannot just sit back and relax and wait for the bull to make everything all right. You have to prepare in the bear. That's all that we have been doing. So, guys, yeah, love it. Thanks for watching. Take care.